Mr. Speaker, would you please have the clerk report House Committee Substitute 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 4.
Gentleman from Rockcastle.
Move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Rockcastle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 4 was the product of the Artificial Intelligence Task Force that we participated in over the interim. It lays out the governance model for the state's usage of artificial intelligence within the governmental structure. It makes it clear that we are not regulating the use of artificial intelligence within the private sector, but it does create the structure for which it can be utilized in the Commonwealth. It puts on safeguards so that we protect users' privacy, we protect the data, and we make sure that its usage is transparent. We make sure that the appropriate guardrails are on for oversight, and we put in place just common sense principles. We want to know if artificial intelligence, how it's being used, what its intended purpose is within state government, and what the intended goal is. We want to make sure that it's got human oversight so that it's not making decisions on whether or not somebody qualifies for Medicaid. We want to make sure that humans are in the loop. We want to make sure that as this technology emerges, we have the appropriate guardrails so that the state can take advantage of the technology, because it does have the potential for tremendous efficiencies. It has the potential for tremendous savings for the state. Senate Bill 4 is a common sense piece of legislation. Within the second part of Senate Bill 4, we deal with artificial intelligence and how it may be used in elections. One of the topics of one of the committee meetings was centered solely around elections and the potential threat it could pose to candidates. So we decided it was important enough to tackle. And so what all this section does is it takes provisions from something that Texas had done that was challenged in federal court and found to be constitutional. It simply requires that as candidates, if we are going to use artificial intelligence for video or audio purposes, that there has to be a disclaimer if it's used within 45 days of the election. We felt like this was an appropriate first step to addressing the issue, and like I said, wanted to be very cognizant of First Amendment issues, and so we chose to do something that had stood up to constitutional challenges and was found to be constitutional. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I would move for passage of Senate Bill 4 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1.